Hello everyone, my name is Brayden, this is Airless Quill 9, and in today's video we are going to talk about Black Dragons. Dragons of Decay and Despair. Dragons that inhabit swamps and keep relics as their hoarded treasures. Black dragons delight in suffering and ruin, while other chromatic dragons scheme for power and wealth. These dragons seek to tear down all they see and rule over what remains. Black dragons are terrifying creatures with curved horns and withered visages, suggestive of fiendish skulls. They typically inhabit stagnant swamps, crumbling ruins, or places of magical or environmental corruption. Their acid breath scars their domains, corroding the features from ancient statues and leaving nature with festering wounds. Black dragons hoard tarnished symbols of hope and relics of fallen empires. The more sought after the treasure, the more black dragons prize it, particularly if they were responsible for it being lost. We're going to go through each of the 4 stat blocks that are present for black dragons, going through their 4 different age categories. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with the first one. The first on our list, of course, is going to be the Black Dragon Wyrmling. Black Dragon Wyrmlings lurk in bogs and polluted waterways, hunting for prey and weaker creatures to overpower. While older Wyrmlings eventually seek their own territories, recently hatched ones might hunt one another, seeking dominance over their clutch and slaying rivals they can't subjugate. The Black Dragon Wyrmling is a medium dragon, chromatic, with a chaotic evil alignment. They have an armor class of 17, 33 hit points, a speed of 30 feet, a fly speed of 60 feet, and a swim speed of 30 feet, as well as a +4 initiative. For their ability scores, they have a strength of 15, a dexterity of 14, a constitution of 13, an intelligence of 10, a wisdom of 11, and a charisma of 13. They are proficient in dexterity and wisdom saving throws. For their skills, the Black Dragon Wyrmling has perception of +4 and stealth of +4. It is immune to acid damage. For its senses, it has a blind sight of 10 feet, dark vision of 60 feet, and a passive perception of 14. For its languages, it knows Draconic, and it is a challenge rating 2 creature with 450 experience points and a proficiency bonus of +2. For its special traits, the Black Dragon Wyrmling has the amphibious trait, which says that it breathes air and water. And finally, for its actions, the Black Dragon Wyrmling has a multi-attack action, allowing it to make 2 rend attacks. Rend is a melee attack roll with a +4 to hit, a reach of 5 feet. It deals 1d6 +2 slashing damage plus 1d4 acid damage, and the Black Dragon also has Acid Breath attack with a recharge of 5 to 6. This is a dexterity saving throw, DC 11, each creature in a 15-foot long, 5-foot wide line. On a failure, a creature takes 5d8 acid damage, and on a success, it takes half damage. As for any changes that the Wyrmling might have to its 2014 counterpart, there really aren't that many to mention. The most noticeable is that the bite attack that it used to have has been changed to that rend attack, and the rend has some decreased damage, but it is now part of a multi-attack, which it was not in its previous version. So yeah, kind of a small change, but it has an increased damage potential since it can make 2 of those rend attacks. So that's a nice change there. The young Black Dragon is a large dragon, chromatic, chaotic evil. It has an armor class of 18, an initiative of +5, hit points of 127, a speed of 40 feet, a fly speed of 80 feet, and a swim speed of 40 feet. For its ability scores, it has a strength of 19, a dexterity of 14, a constitution of 17, an intelligence of 12, a wisdom of 11, and a charisma of 15. The young black dragon is also proficient in dexterity and wisdom saving throws. For its skills, it has a perception of +6 and a stealth of +5. Immunities, it is immune to acid damage. For senses, it has blind sight of 30 feet, dark vision of 120 feet, and a passive perception of 16. For its languages, it knows Common and Draconic, and it is a challenge rating 7 creature with 2,900 experience points and a proficiency bonus of +3. For its traits, the young black dragon has Amphibious as its previous version. For actions, it has a multi-attack, allowing it to make 3 rend attacks. Rend is a melee attack roll with a +7 to hit, a reach of 10 feet. It deals 2d4 +4 slashing damage plus 1d6 acid damage. And it has Acid Breath, which is a recharge of 5 to 6. Dexterity saving throw, DC 14, each creature in a 30-foot long, 5-foot wide line. On a failure, it deals 4d6 acid damage, or 14d6 acid damage rather, and on a success it deals half damage. I forgot to mention earlier that the Wyrmling has lost proficiency in Constitution and Charisma saving throws. Same deal here for the young black dragon. The young black dragon has also had its bite and claw attacks condensed into that rend attack, which is a additional change there. So yeah, other than that, not too many changes, but we can see that there is a change trend among these dragons here. And the breath damage has actually changed slightly. It was 11d8 in 2014, it is now 14d6, which is slightly different, but honestly it's the exact same average, so I'm not sure why the damage dice changed, but it is what it is. So yeah, there's that. We're going to take a quick break to talk about Black Dragon layers, because adult and ancient Black Dragons have layers. These have been warped by the Black Dragon's presence, and they have the following effects present in their layers. The first is called Acrid Haze. This says that odorous and stifling fog covers the area within 1 mile of the lair, rendering that area lightly obscured. Travel for creatures other than the dragon and its allies takes twice the usual time in that area. Foul Water says that water sources within 1 mile of the lair are supernaturally fouled. A creature that drinks such water must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or have the poison condition for 1 hour. And finally, if the dragon dies or moves its lair elsewhere, these effects end immediately. So do keep that in mind. So with that out of the way, let's now talk about adult and ancient black dragons. The adult black dragon is a huge dragon of chaotic evil alignment. It has an armor class of 19, 195 hit points, a speed of 40 feet, a fly speed of 80 feet, and a swim speed of 40 feet. It has an initiative bonus of +12, which is quite more than its 2014 counterpart. For its ability scores, it has a strength of 23, a dexterity of 14, a constitution of 21, an intelligence of 14, a wisdom of 13, and a charisma of 19. For its skills, it has a perception of +11 and a stealth of +7. Immunities, the adult black dragon is immune to acid damage. For its senses, the adult black dragon has blind sight of 60 feet and dark vision of 120 feet. It has a passive perception of 21. For languages, it knows Common and Draconic. For its challenge rating, it is a challenge rating 14 creature, granting 11,500 experience points, or 13,000 experience points if encountered in its lair, and it has a proficiency bonus of +5. For its traits, the adult Black Dragon has Amphibious, and it has 3 legendary resistances per day or 4 per day in its lair, which is quite nice. For its actions, it has a multi-attack, which says that the dragon makes 3 rend attacks, and then it can replace 1 attack with a use of spell casting to cast Melf's Acid Arrow at level 3. So Rend now is a melee attacker with a +11 to hit, a reach of 10 feet. On a hit, it deals 2d6 plus 6 slashing damage plus 1d8 acid damage. Acid Breath is a recharge of 5 to 6, a dexterity saving throw, DC 18. Each creature in a 60-foot long, 5 feet wide line. On a failure, it deals 12d8 acid damage, and on a success, it deals half damage. The adult Black Dragon also has a spellcasting action, which allows it to cast one of the following spells requiring no material components, and using Charisma as the spellcasting ability. Spell save DC 17, plus 9 to hit with spell attacks. At will, it can cast Detect Magic, Fear, and Melf's Acid Arrow at level 3. And then once per day, each it can cast Speak with Dead and Vitriolic Sphere. For its legendary actions, the adult Black Dragon has 3 uses of legendary action. It has 4 if it encountered in its lair, which is quite nice. For its legendary actions, the adult Black Dragon has Cloud of Insects. This is a dexterity saving throw, DC 17, 1 creature the dragon can see within 120 feet. On a failure, that creature takes 40-10 poison damage, and it has disadvantage on saving throws to maintain concentration until the end of its next turn. And on a failure or success, the dragon can't take this action again until the start of its next turn. Frightful Presence says that the dragon uses spellcasting to cast Fear. The dragon can't take this action again until the start of its next turn. And finally, Pounce, the dragon moves up to half its speed and it makes 1 rend attack. So this version of the Black Dragon is quite different from its 2014 counterpart. So let's talk about the many changes to this version. First is that high initiative score. It does not have that in 2014. Secondly, the adult Black Dragon has gained an increase to its charisma score. It used to be 17, it is now 19. Its legendary resistance trait has gained that additional use if encountered in its lair, which is quite nice. That multi-attack has completely changed. It is very different from the 2014 counterpart. Rend has been a consolidation of the bite, claw, and tail attacks. Acid Breath still deals the same amount of damage. And the adult Black Dragon has gained that spell casting trait, which is quite significant. That used to be a optional thing that they had. It is now a significant part of their stat block now, which is quite nice to see. Also like that they can cast replace one of their attacks with the Melf's Acid Arrow. That's a really interesting multi-attack option for them to do and quite unique. So that's pretty cool to see. Finally, pretty much every legendary action that they have in here is entirely new or a change to a previous existing one. The fact that they have 4 legendary actions while encountered in their lair is very cool and very nice. It makes them much more potent to be encountered in their lair. So that's significant. Frightening Presence used to be an action that the adult Black Dragon had that has now been pretty much entirely changed into that legendary action version, which is now them just casting the Fear spell. I think that's a nice consolidation there. And then finally, the Pounce is pretty neat, allowing them to move half their speed and making 1 rend attack. Do keep in mind that that is half of their movement speed. That is not their fly speed or their swim speed. So do keep that in mind when using Pounce. But yeah, some pretty significant changes there. The adult Black Dragon is very different mechanically from its 2014 counterpart, so that's pretty interesting to see there. Other than that, everything else is pretty much the same, but yeah, their actions and legendary actions have some significant changes there, so that's pretty cool to see. Completely changes the attack meta of the adult Black Dragon, which I quite like. Finally, we have the Ancient Black Dragon. This is a gargantuan dragon with a chaotic evil alignment. They have an armor class of 22, 367 hit points, an initiative bonus of plus 16, and a speed of 40 feet, a fly speed of 80 feet, and a swim speed of 40 feet. For their ability scores, they have a strength of 27, a dexterity of 14, a constitution of 25, an intelligence of 16, a wisdom of 15, and a charisma of 22. Skills, they have proficiency in perception and stealth, immunity to acid, they have blind sight 60 feet, dark vision 120 feet, and a passive perception of 26. For their languages, they know Common and Draconic. They are a challenge rating 21 creature, granting 33,000 experience points or 41,000 in their lair. And they have a proficiency bonus of plus 7. The Ancient Black Dragon has the Amphibious trait and the Legendary Resistance trait, which is 4 per day or 5 per day in its lair. That is significant. Finally, that multi-attack in actions allows the dragon to make 3 rend attacks or replace one of those attacks with a use of spellcasting to cast Melf's Acid Arrow at level 4. Rend is now a melee attacker with a plus 15 to hit and a reach of 15 feet. It deals 2d8 plus 8 slashing damage plus 2d8 acid damage. Acid Breath is on a recharge of 5 to 6. It is a dexterity saving throw, DC 22. Each creature in a 90-foot long, 10-foot wide line. On a failure, it deals 15d8 acid damage. On a success, it deals half damage. Spellcasting. The dragon casts one of the following spells requiring no material components and using Charisma as the spellcasting ability. Spell save DC 21 plus 13 to hit with spell attacks. At will, the Black Dragon can cast Detect Magic, Fear, and Melf's Acid Arrow as a level 4 spell. And once per day each, the dragon can cast Create Undead, Speak with Dead, and Vitriolic Sphere at level 5. For legendary actions, the dragon has 3 uses or 4 in its lair. And it has that Cloud of Insects legendary action, which is now a dexterity saving throw, DC 21. One creature the dragon can see within 120 feet. On a failure, it deals 33 or 60-10 poison damage, and the target has disadvantage on saving throws to maintain concentration until the end of its next turn. Failure or success, the dragon can't take this action again until the start of its next turn. Frightful Presence is the same as the adult version, and then Pounce is also the same as the adult version. So yeah, this version is taking a lot of the things of the adult version and making them a little bit better. The most noticeable changes to the Ancient Black Dragon from its 2014 counterpart, however, is that high initiative score. It has also lost proficiency in Constitution and Charisma saving throws. I did not mention that for the adult version, but it was the same there. It has more legendary resistances than it previously had. It used to have only 3 per day, and now it has 4 per day or 5 per day in its lair, which is quite significant. Same thing as the last version. That multi-attack is entirely different. Rend is that consolidation of physical attacks. Acid Breath has seen no changes. The spellcasting trait is entirely new. Some nice spell options there. And then finally, all those legendary actions are new. The most noticeable changes to those from the adult counterpart are increased damage for Cloud of Insects, as well as the increase to the saving throw DC. And then Practical Presence and Pounce are the same. So yeah, quite a bit of changes for the dragons here. Very significant changes for dragons in general, but the Ancient Black Dragon is yeah, very different. I don't know how different the attack potential is here, but it is greatly increased from my base calculations in my head. So yeah, there's some additional defenses here, additional damage potential, and you're not going to be sacrificing much by replacing your attack with that casting a Vitriolic Sphere, because it's cast at level 5, which is quite significant. So yeah, there's just additional options here which are quite nice, and I like the variety of legendary actions in the adult and ancient Black Dragons here. It really makes them a much more interesting threat to combat. So yeah, those are all the changes to Black Dragons. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and you'll get to see more content like this. The next video for the Monster Manual stat blocks will be out on Monday and be going over Black Puddings, so keep an eye out for that. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I catch you all in the next one. See you later.